immigration may very well be a big issue in this in these midterms. Democratic leaders, it was reported today or yesterday, have said basically, we passed a comprehensive reform over 300 days ago in the Senate, and
with like 2/3 of the Senate, by the way.
And if the House doesn't act, then the president is going to act unilaterally. So they're basically setting this up, and he's going to act unilaterally, supposedly in August. So that is,
he should wait till about October 25th or so.
I think the point is they roll this out in September. When they say August, they really mean September, the August recess. So they're going to come back, and the president's going to do this in September. And they are basically saying, bring it on. This is the fight. This is one of the fights we want to have. Now, President Obama has been the most severe, has presided over the most deportations, I think, of that we've seen. I don't know, perhaps.
As Mitt Romney
ever.
would say about him, he's severely deportative.
Yes. And
I'm sorry, I had to. I couldn't help myself.
And so, which he has taken, at least, I think, in some communities, the proper amount of criticism, if not.
Yeah, it's been
not
one of the most
criticism.
disgraceful parts of his record. I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
But it gives him something to reverse unilaterally, is my point. And so,
that's right.
And he could do that, and it will create a fight. I want to talk about one other thing too. That is going to be relevant come the fall, and that's Tom Steyer. Tell us who Tom Steyer is.
So he is a billionaire by last, I think, worth about $1.5 billion. Well, maybe more than that, maybe a couple billion. In any case, he's got his group Next Gen, which has already actually won some victories. They in the primary for the Massachusetts Senate seat, for the open seat when Kerry left, supported Markey because he was much stronger on fighting climate change than Lynch, who was pro-Keystone, if I remember correctly. And so that's one they already got involved in. They got involved in the Virginia race for Terry McAuliffe. And he's now said he'll spend $50 million of his own dollars, and will hopefully match that with $50 million. $50 million seems to be a popular number, by the way.
You want it round. I think it's easier. You don't want a loose change in your pocket when you.
No, if you say like I'm going to spend $42,227,000, it's not as exciting as $50 million. So yeah, he said he's going to spend that and raise that, and he's picked 7 races already where he's going to get involved. A few of them are governor's races: Maine, Florida, Pennsylvania, which we were just talking about, and then a number of Senate races where he's going to be supporting the Democrat. He's supporting Democrats in all of them, and that's Colorado with Udall. Where else is he? I believe he's doing
Iowa, Michigan, New Hampshire,
Iowa,
and
Michigan,
Florida.
New Hampshire.
Right.
Yeah, those 3 were those are the other 3 Senate races, and it makes sense because Iowa and Michigan, particularly Iowa, are swing states. You've got, particularly in Iowa, you've got a progressive Democrat running, in Bruce Braley, and in New Hampshire, Jeanne Shaheen, who's the incumbent, against former Massachusetts senator and Massachusetts all-around great guy. And I know your best friend, Sam.
Scotty B.
Right, Scotty B. Scotty B in his truck.
Wow. Listen,
he and his truck are running around New Hampshire right now, losing by 15 points and making a fool of himself.
The point is, Steyer's money is, it seems at this point, is exclusively they're targeting races is exclusively a function of promoting candidates who essentially recognize climate change as an urgent problem, and against opponents who they are labeling anti-science. So this is...
And they're all swing states, at least to a certain degree. I mean, Michigan has gone pretty solidly Democratic lately, as has Pennsylvania, but they're still technically...
The Senate race...
They're purplish for 2016 is what I'm saying.
Right.
So he's trying to build up a presence so that they'll also be playing there when the presidential election. So it's sort of a 2-pronged effort. And look, this is enormous because there's never been anybody spending anything close to that kind of money, making an environmental argument, one that I think that can be made in a populist way. And it's important in that, look, like you, I mean, I work on campaign finance reform, and I think like most progressives,
right.
The fact that we have, you have to court billionaires to get them to spend on things that you care about says something about the sad state of our democracy. With that said, I would much rather, being that we're going to be up, or already are up against the Koch brothers and Sheldon Adelson and others, it will be very helpful that Steyer and on gun safety, Mayor Bloomberg's pledged, or former Mayor Bloomberg's pledged to spend $50 million going after right-wingers who are terrible on guns. This needs to be done. Otherwise, we'd be swamped. It's where we are right now, thanks to this wonderfully cogent Supreme Court that we live under.
And this is one of those things too that these are, I mean, climate change I think is going to become a larger and larger national issue, and it's just another issue that I think Republicans are just, even aside from policy, but just strategically on the wrong side of, and cannot cross that divide. So
it's another one like immigration that demographically they are massively, and frankly on guns too, just like LGBT rights and a few other ones we've talked about, they are massively on the wrong side of the divide on addressing climate change. And I think they want to prove that this election and make a difference with it. I think, I hope they do, clearly for a variety of reasons. So one, reason is to show that is an issue that you can take Republicans down on,
right,
in key swing states. And so, that money could play a huge role. And again, it's just where we are. And anybody saying they're going to put $50 million in to support mostly progressive and at worst moderate candidates against lunatics, this is something that needs to be done at this point.
It's ultimately a $100 million campaign against science deniers. And
that's right.
On balance, that's helpful, with the caveats, of course, of now we just basically, our elections are really just parlor games between billionaires.
Right. But I mean, I think at least from every interview I've seen with Tom Steyer, he seems like a genuine guy, and clearly sees that there's a lot of danger down the road, as we've been told again and again the last couple of weeks by study after study, and we've been told for years, but particularly recently with what's going on with the ice sheets. And so we, in my own way, whether I like billionaires, ruling our politics or not, I'd say thank you, because we need it. We need people who are doing stuff that are not spending to improve their own bottom line or forward their own ideological agenda, whether it's based on science or not. We've got people that are actually spending, like Tom Steyer, in the public interest. And so for that, I'm thankful.